ಇವತ್ತು ನಾವು ನರಳ್ತಾ ಇರೋದಕ್ಕೆ ನಮ್ಮ ಚೈಲ್ಡ್ಹುಡ್ ನಲ್ಲಿ ಆಗಿರುವಂತಹ ಯಾವುದೋ ಒಂದು ಕಹಿ ಘಟನೆ ಕಾರಣ, ಅಥವಾ ಹಿಂದಿನ ಜನ್ಮದಲ್ಲಿ ಆಗಿರುವಂತಹ ಯಾವುದೋ ಒಂದು ಕಹಿ ಘಟನೆ ಕಾರಣ ಅಂದ್ರೆ ನೀವು ನಂಬ್ತೀರಾ? ನಂಬಲೇಬೇಕು ಅಂತ ಹೇಳ್ತಾ ಇದೆ ಹಿಪ್ನೋಥೆರಪಿ. ವೆಲ್ಕಮ್ ಟು ಇನ್ಫೋ ಎಟ್ ಹೊನ್ನುಡಿ. ಇವತ್ತಿನ ಸಂಚಿಕೆಯಲ್ಲಿ ನಮ್ಮ ಜೊತೆ ಇರ್ತಾರೆ ಹಿಪ್ನೋಥೆರಪಿಸ್ಟ್ ಶ್ವೇತಾ ಅವರು. ವೆಲ್ಕಮ್ ಟು ಇನ್ಫೋ ಎಟ್ ಹೊನ್ನುಡಿ. ಇವತ್ತು ನಮ್ಮ ಜೊತೆ ಶೋನಲ್ಲಿ ಇದ್ದಾರೆ ಶ್ವೇತಾ ಜೈನ್, ಹಿಪ್ನೋಥೆರಪಿಸ್ಟ್. Swetha, welcome to my show.
Thank you so much, Naina, for this wonderful opportunity. It's a great pleasure to be here.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much because this is something unique on my show. Yeah. This is probably something unique to the audience also. Tell me, Swetha, what introduced you to hypnotherapy? Because not a usual profession.
It is not.
Yeah. Yes. So what introduced you?
So after my graduation, I wanted to do psychotherapy. Books inspired me. That hypnosis proves to be a very shortcut to psychotherapy.
Okay.
So psychotherapy is a very long-term process. You have to go through a lot of sessions to reach to the conclusion. Whereas hypnosis is 1/10 of that.
Okay.
So I got so attracted to what hypnosis is. Mm-hmm. So after doing my psychotherapy, MS in psychotherapy, I was looking for institutes which can teach me hypnosis.
Okay, so where have you started?
I've done my hypnosis from California Hypnosis Institute of India, okay. CHII, which is now called ECA. So the headquarters is in Mumbai and they conduct a workshop everywhere in Bangalore, Dubai, Pune, everywhere.
So if I have to choose to become a hypnotherapist,
yeah.
So what should I be? What is the basic qualification for?
Yeah, so you don't need to be a psychology student for hypnosis.
Okay.
All you need to do is have an open mind.
Okay.
And passion to learn the science. It's a science. It's not something which is magical or fake. It's a science. It's a proven logical science. So if you have an open mind, even you too can become a hypnotherapist.
Probably, I would try to. If today's session is liked by our audience, I am damn sure many of them would choose to become hypnotherapist.
Yeah.
So Swetha, sorry for the session which is in English today. So basically ಶ್ವೇತಾ ಅವರು ಬೆಂಗಳೂರಿನವ್ರು ಅಲ್ಲದೆ ಇರೋ ಕಾರಣ, ಕನ್ನಡದವ್ರು ಅಲ್ಲದೆ ಇರೋ ಕಾರಣ ನಾವು ಈ ಸೆಷನ್ ತಗೋತಾ ಇದೀವಿ ಇಂಗ್ಲಿಷ್ ನಲ್ಲಿ. ಅಂಡ್ ಇವತ್ತು ನಾವು ಕೊಡ್ತಾ ಇರುವಂತಹ ಮಾಹಿತಿ ತುಂಬಾ ವಿಶೇಷವಾಗಿರುವಂತಹ ಕಾರಣ ನಾವು ಈ ಎಪಿಸೋಡ್ ನ ಮಿಸ್ ಮಾಡೋದಕ್ಕೆ ಇಷ್ಟಪಡಲಿಲ್ಲ. ಸೊ ಆಸ್ ಶ್ವೇತಾ ಟೆಲ್ಸ್, ಹಿಪ್ನೋಥೆರಪಿ ಒಂದು ಸೈನ್ಸ್. ಸಾಕಷ್ಟು ವಿಷಯಗಳಲ್ಲಿ ಅದು ನಿಮ್ಗೆ ಸಲಹೆಗಳನ್ನ ಕೊಡುತ್ತೆ, ಸೊಲ್ಯೂಷನ್ಸ್ ನ ಕೊಡುತ್ತೆ. ಇನ್ನು ಹಿಪ್ನೋಥೆರಪಿಸ್ಟ್ ಬಗ್ಗೆ ಸಾಕಷ್ಟು ಮಾಹಿತಿ ನಮ್ಗೆ, ಹಿಪ್ನಾಸಿಸ್ ಬಗ್ಗೆ ನಮ್ಗೆ ಮಾಹಿತಿ ಶ್ವೇತಾ ಕೊಡ್ತಾ ಹೋಗ್ತಾರೆ. ಸೊ ಸಾಧ್ಯವಾದಷ್ಟು ನಾನು ನಿಮ್ಗೆ ಟ್ರಾನ್ಸ್ಲೇಟ್ ಮಾಡ್ತಾ ಹೋಗ್ತೀನಿ. ನೋಡೋಣ ಹಿಪ್ನೋಥೆರಪಿ ಬಗ್ಗೆ ನಮಗ್ ತಿಳ್ಕೊಳ್ಳೋಕೆ ಏನೇನಿದೆ ಅಂತ. ಸೊ ಗೋಯಿಂಗ್ ಅಹೆಡ್, ಶ್ವೇತಾ, does hypnotherapy really work?
Oh God, that is
a lot of audience watching this, maybe like me, who is introduced to hypnosis for the first time.
Correct.
Would think that does it really work?
Yeah.
So what is your answer to that?
So yeah, there are many patients who come to me for hypnosis and their first question is, does it really work? So what I generally tell them is, at the end of the session, the healing gets done. The answers get answered. They know what is happening to them. They know why it is happening to them. So whether it was hypnosis or whether it was a creation of their mind, at the end, if the healing is done, it's good enough for me. Hypnosis do work because it's a science, it is logical. But for people who are paranoid about it, they're getting the answers, they're getting the healing done, is good enough for me.
The purpose is served.
The purpose is served, yes.
So hypnosis work ಆಗತ್ತಾ ಇಲ್ವಾ ಅನ್ನೋ ನಮ್ಮ ಪ್ರಶ್ನೆ ಶ್ವೇತಾ ಹೇಳ್ತಾ ಇದ್ದಾರೆ. ನಿಮಗೆ ಸೆಷನ್ ಎಂಡ್ ಆಗ್ತಿದ್ದ ಹಾಗೆ ನಿಮ್ಮ ಸಮಸ್ಯೆಗಳಿಗೆ ಸೊಲ್ಯೂಷನ್ ಸಿಕ್ಕಿದ್ರೆ ಅಥವಾ ನೀವು ಹುಡುಕ್ತಾ ಇರುವಂತ ಆನ್ಸರ್ ಸಿಕ್ಕಿದ್ರೆ ಅವತ್ತಿನ ಸೆಷನ್ ಕಂಪ್ಲೀಟ್ ಅಂತ. ಸೊ ಶ್ವೇತಾ, who can undergo a hypnotherapy?
Okay, so there is no age limit, sex limit, bar limit, anything to it. Anyone who has an issue, who doesn't know the answer to their issue, can undergo hypnotherapy. But generally for children below 18, they need their parents' consent to go under hypnosis. And very young children, like toddlers, if there is an issue, okay, so we need to, and we have to do a hypnotherapy on them. So we go through their mothers, which is called surrogate hypnosis.
Okay, that is 5 ವರ್ಷಕ್ಕಿಂತ ಕೆಳಗಿನ ಮಕ್ಕಳಲ್ಲಿ ಏನಾದ್ರು ಸಮಸ್ಯೆ ಇತ್ತು ಅಂದ್ರೆ ಮಕ್ಕಳಿಗೆ ಹಿಪ್ನೋಸಿಸ್ ಮಾಡಕ್ ಆಗದೆ ಇದ್ದಾಗ ಅವರ ತಾಯಿಗೆ ಹಿಪ್ನೋಸಿಸ್ ಮಾಡಿ. Have you found answers on it?
Oh yes, there was a child who was disabled and we didn't know there was no reason. Okay, and the mother was hell-bent on knowing the reason why this. So we did a surrogacy hypnosis through the mom, and we realized that in the past life there was some. Again, we are opening a Pandora box. There was some, karmic retribution that needed to be done.
Okay.
And that's why the child's soul decided to take birth in a, disabled body, and the mom has to take care and retribute the karma like that.
Okay. So in that case, do we correct it in the past life, or it is just that you have to move on with it?
Beautiful question, Nina. So there are many cases in which correction is not possible. So the child has already taken birth in the disabled body, right? What correction can we do? But knowing the reason why this has happened, if the mother is saying that yes, I caused so much of pain to this soul in the past life,
Okay.
and I have to go through the same pain in this past life in order to retribute their karma. So going through the pain in this lifetime gets easier.
Okay.
Yeah,
it is all the mindset.
Because you know that you did this to the soul. So now
That's
the
amazing.
same thing has to come back, right? So it gets easier. And in some of the cases, correction is not the proper word that I would use, but energy exchange happens,
Mhm.
right? So if you are going through an issue in this life, which is an outcome of the past life, okay? So you go in that past life, you do the energy exchange, you do the healing. There are particular modalities to do that. And when you come back into consciousness again, the memory would be there, but the pain won't be there.
Okay.
So that is healing.
ಸೊ ಸೌಂಡ್ಸ್ ಇಂಟ್ರೆಸ್ಟಿಂಗ್. ನಿಮ್ಗೆ ಏನಾದ್ರು ನಾವ್ ಯೂಶಲಿ ಹೇಳ್ತೀವಿ ಅಲ್ವಾ, ನಾವ್ ಏನಕ್ಕೆ ಗೊತ್ತಾಗ್ತಾ ಇದೆ, ನಮ್ಗೆ ಯಾರೋ ಯಾಕೆ ನೋವು ಮಾಡ್ತಾ ಇದೆ ಅಂದ್ರೆ ನಾವ್ ಹಿಂದಿನ ಜನ್ಮದಲ್ಲಿ ಯಾರಿಗೋ ಏನೋ ನೋವು ಕೊಟ್ಟಿರ್ಬೇಕು, ಹಾಗಾಗಿ ನಾವು ಆ ಕರ್ಮನ ಫಾಲೋ ಮಾಡ್ತಾ ಇದೀವಿ ಅಂತ. ಸೊ ಹಿಪ್ನೋಥೆರಪಿ ಕೂಡ ಅವ್ರು ಅದೇ ಆನ್ಸರ್ ಹೇಳ್ತಾ ಇದಾರೆ. ನಾವ್ ಯಾರಿಗೋ ನೋವು ಕೊಟ್ಟಿರ್ತೀವಿ, ಅದನ್ನ ನಾವ್ ಈ ಜನ್ಮದಲ್ಲಿ ಅನುಭವಿಸ್ಲೇಬೇಕು ಅಂತ ಆದಾಗ ನಮ್ಗೆ ಆ ಆನ್ಸರ್ ಸಿಕ್ಕಾಗ ನಿಮ್ಗೆ ಆ ಜರ್ನಿ ಎಷ್ಟು ನೋವು ಆಕ್ಚುಲಿ ಕೊಡ್ಬೇಕಿತ್ತು ಅಷ್ಟು ನೋವು ಕೊಡೋದಿಲ್ಲ. ಸೊ ಅಷ್ಟು ಮಟ್ಟಿಗಿನ ಹೆಲ್ಪ್ ಹಿಪ್ನೋಸಿಸ್ ನಮ್ಗೆ ಮಾಡತ್ತೆ. ಇನ್ ಕೆಲವು ಕಡೆ ಎನರ್ಜಿ ಎಕ್ಸ್ಚೇಂಜ್ ಆಗುತ್ತೆ. ಸೊ ಕೆಲವು ಸಮಸ್ಯೆಗಳಿಗೆ ಖಂಡಿತ ಸೊಲ್ಯೂಷನ್ ಸಿಗ್ಬೋದು, ಇನ್ ಕೆಲವು ಸಮಸ್ಯೆಗಳಿಗೆ ಉತ್ತರ ಸಿಗ್ಬೋದು, ಅದು ಸೊಲ್ಯೂಷನ್ ಆಗದೆ ಇರಬಹುದು. ಓಕೆ, ಶ್ವೇತಾ, ಹೌ ವುಡ್ ಯು ನೋ the induced session in a patient has gone well, or the procedure has happened in the right way?
Correct. So first of all, hypnosis is never done in the first session itself.
Okay.
It is basically done in the third or fourth session. Okay. So by the fourth session, we gauge the patient's mindset, right? How much the patient is actually willing to go into hypnosis.
Okay.
Whether they want to go into hypnosis just for the sake of going, or to check me. There are so many patients who come to just check whether she can put me into hypnosis, right? So once we gauge what is the mindset of the patient, we start putting them into trance. Then there are various deepening techniques.
Okay.
There are a few tests, suggestibility tests we call it, okay, that we take before inducing hypnosis. So there are two types of personality, okay, emotional personality and then logical personality. So depending on the personality, we have different deepening techniques. We do that techniques. Then there are various tests that we do to see whether the person is actually that deep induced or not. If the person is deep enough, good enough to work ahead. If they are not, then there are other deepening techniques that we do, and then we do the tests again. And if the test we pass, we go ahead.
So is it true that the deeper the trance, the better is the solution?
Okay, so the deeper the trance, the lower would be the voice. That's it.
Voice.
The deeper you are, the slower would be your voice.
And even on the other day when we had a conversation, you mentioned to me that your voice modulation just happened because you're a therapist.
Yes.
So what therapist's voice would sound like?
So generally, if you would have seen these YouTube videos of deep meditation or sleep meditation, you would notice that there is a particular type of voice that these therapists or these people use, right? So that is a kind of frequency that we need to speak in order to put the patient into trance. So if I am talking at this level, at this voice, the person would be too conscious, or they will be constantly pinched that I'm talking in the high tone, so it will be not easy for them to go into a trance. So when I'm using a very low tone, which puts them into the frequency which helps them to go into trance. So that I had to
comforting your
you comfort yourself and you comfort others also, so that they can go into a trance. So yeah, I had to do a lot because naturally I have a very high pitched voice. So go into that frequency. Yeah, I had to.
So as Swetha mentions, ಯಾರು ಬೇಕಾದ್ರೂ ಹಿಪ್ನೋಥೆರಪಿ ತಗೋಬಹುದು. ಅಂಡ್ ಎರಡು ತರದ ಜನಗಳಿರ್ತಾರೆ. ಒಂದು ಪ್ರಾಕ್ಟಿಕಲ್ ಅಂತ ನಾವು ಹೇಳೋದು, ಇನ್ನೊಂದು ಎಮೋಷನಲ್ ಬೀಯಿಂಗ್ಸ್ ಅಂತ ಹೇಳೋದು. ಸೊ ಒಬ್ಬೊಬ್ಬರಿಗೆ ಒಂದೊಂದು ರೀತಿಯಂತ ಅಪ್ರೋಚ್ ಇರುತ್ತೆ. ಅಂಡ್ ಹಿಪ್ನೋಥೆರಪಿಸ್ಟ್ಗೆ ಗೊತ್ತಾಗುತ್ತೆ ಎಷ್ಟು ಡೀಪ್ ಆಗಿ ಅವರು ಹಿಪ್ನೋಟೈಸ್ ಆಗಿದ್ದಾರೆ ಅನ್ನೋದು. ಇನ್ನೊಂದು ಇಂಪಾರ್ಟೆಂಟ್ ವಿಷಯ ಏನಪ್ಪಾ ಅಂದ್ರೆ, ನಿಮಗೆ ಇಷ್ಟ ಇದ್ರೆ ಮಾತ್ರ. ಎಸ್ Swetha, mentioning about this point, what is the importance of consent in hypnosis?
Right. So obviously if a patient is not willing to go into hypnosis, they won't give their consent. And if they are consenting, that means they are willing to go into hypnosis. So taking consent is nothing but ensuring that the subconscious mind is open to open.
Okay. So somebody else cannot open the door of subconscious mind.
No. Only you can open your subconscious mind, right? I will just be a medium to go through.
Okay. Just out of curiosity, if I talk to you and tell Swetha, yes, I am ready for a session, and deep inside I will see that no, I should not be revealing things to Swetha. So will my subconscious mind open then?
Actually, no. You have to be willing. That's why while we are in a hypnosis session, there is a clause of confidentiality, right? It is a very big clause. Confidentiality is of utmost importance. So when you know that 100% whatever I'm going to talk with Swetha is going to stay here only. And in this chair. Once I am out of this chair, I am not the therapist Swetha. I'm the normal girl Swetha who doesn't know anything about what happened in the session.
Right.
So that's why I said that the hypnosis happened in the third or the fourth session, because not only I have to gauge the patient has to trust me in able to open up. So that happens. I have not had a single patient until now who wanted to undergo hypnosis and didn't open up. Thankfully.
ಸೊ ಶ್ವೇತಾ ಹೇಳ್ತಾ ಇದ್ದಾರೆ, ಯಾರು ಬೇಕಾದ್ರೂ ಸೆಷನ್ಸ್ ನ ತಗೋಬಹುದು ಅಂಡ್ ಎಷ್ಟು ಡೀಪ್ ಆಗಿ ಬೇಕಾದ್ರೂ ಸೆಷನ್ಸ್ ನ ತಗೋಬಹುದು. ಸೊ ಡೀಪ್ ಆಗ್ತಾ ಇದ್ದಂಗೆ ನಿಮ್ಗೆ ಬೆಟರ್ ಸೊಲ್ಯೂಷನ್ ಸಿಗತ್ತೆ ಅಂತ ಅರ್ಥ ಅಲ್ಲ. as she mentioned, ವಾಯ್ಸ್ ಮಾತ್ರ ಚೇಂಜ್ ಆಗುತ್ತೆ. ಇವನ್ ಪೇಷಂಟ್ ಮಾತಾಡೋ ವಾಯ್ಸ್ ಕೂಡ ಗೊತ್ತಾಗುತ್ತೆ ನಿಮಗೆ ಎಷ್ಟು ಡೀಪ್ ಅಲ್ಲಿ ಇದ್ದಾರೆ, ಅವರು ಎಷ್ಟು ಓಪನ್ ಅಪ್ ಆಗ್ತಾ ಇದ್ದಾರೆ ಅಂತ. ಅಂಡ್ ತುಂಬಾ ಇಂಪಾರ್ಟೆಂಟ್ ಆಗೋದು ನಿಮಗೆ ಹಿಪ್ನೋಸಿಸ್ ಅಲ್ಲಿ ಏನಪ್ಪಾ ಅಂದ್ರೆ ಪೇಷಂಟ್ ಕನ್ಸೆಂಟ್. ಇವನ್ ನನಗೆ ಇಷ್ಟ ಇಲ್ಲ ಅಂದ್ರೆ ಯಾವುದೇ ಥೆರಪಿಸ್ಟ್ ನನ್ನ ಮೇಲೆ ಪ್ರಯೋಗ ಮಾಡೋದಕ್ಕೆ ಸಾಧ್ಯನೇ ಇಲ್ಲ. ಸೊ ನಮ್ಗೆ ಅದೊಂದು ನೆಗೆಟಿವ್ ಶೇಡ್ ಇದೆ ಅಲ್ವಾ, ಯಾರನ್ನ ಬೇಕಾದ್ರೂ ಹಿಪ್ನಟೈಸ್ ಮಾಡಬಹುದು, ಹಾಗೆ ಏನಾದ್ರೂ ಮಾಲ್ ಪ್ರಾಕ್ಟೀಸ್ಗಳು ಆಗ್ಬಹುದು ಅನ್ನೋದು, ಅದನ್ನ ಈ ಸೆಷನ್ ವೇವ್ ಆಫ್ ಮಾಡುತ್ತೆ. ಸೊ ಇವು ಯಾರಿಗೂ ಹೆದರ್ಕೊಳ್ಳೋ ಅಗತ್ಯ ಇಲ್ಲ. ದೇರ್ ಇಸ್ ನೋ ನೆಗೆಟಿವ್ ಥಿಂಗ್ ಇಂಡ್ಯೂಸ್ಡ್ ಆರ್ ಎನಿಥಿಂಗ್ ಮಿಸ್ಬಿಹೇವ್ಡ್, ಈ ಥರದ್ದು ಏನೂ ನಡೆಯೋದಿಲ್ಲ ನಮ್ದು ಸೆಷನ್ಸ್ ನಲ್ಲಿ. ಸೊ ಗೋಯಿಂಗ್ ಅಹೆಡ್, ಕ್ಯಾನ್ ಯು ಇರೇಸ್ ಮೆಮರಿ ಆಫ್ಟರ್ ಅ ಹಿಪ್ನೋಥೆರಪಿ ಸೆಷನ್?
Okay. Now this is also, I think, the most common question asked. So hypnotherapy is not a jadoo ka chadi. You know that I'll be just warning it off and the memories will be erased. So what hypnosis does is take away the negative emotions from that memories. Okay, so whatever emotionally charged memories you have, okay, the emotions, once they are taken out, the memories are with you just as an incident that happened. The charged emotion that were attached to the memories are taken out. So once you've done the healing, you've undergone hypnosis, okay, you will remember the incident, but the emotions attached with the incident are no more. So they are not hurting you like they used to.
ಸೊ ಫಾರ್ ಎಕ್ಸಾಂಪಲ್, ನೀವೊಂದು ಹಿಪ್ನೋಥೆರಪಿ ಸೆಷನ್ ತಗೊಂಡಿದ್ದೀರಿ ಅಂಡ್ ನಿಮ್ಗೆ ಯಾವುದೋ ಒಂದು ಮೆಮರಿ ಇದೆ. ಆ ಮೆಮರಿಯಿಂದ ನಮ್ಗೆ ಇವತ್ತು ಒಂದು 10 ವರ್ಷದ ಹಿಂದಿನ ಮೆಮರಿ ಇವತ್ತು ನೆನ್ಸ್ಕೊಂಡು ನಮ್ಮ ಕಣ್ಣಲ್ಲಿ ನೀರು ಬರುತ್ತೆ, ನಮ್ಗೆ ಬೇಜಾರಾಗುತ್ತೆ, ನಮ್ಗೆ 2-3 ದಿನ ಬೇಕಾಗುತ್ತೆ ಅದರಿಂದ ವಾಪಸ್ ಬರುತ್ತೆ ಅನ್ನೋ ಇನ್ಸಿಡೆಂಟ್ಸ್ ಇದ್ದಾಗ, ನೀವು ಹಿಪ್ನೋಥೆರಪಿ ಸೆಷನ್ ತಗೊಂಡ ನಂತರ ನಿಮ್ಗೆ ಆ ಇನ್ಸಿಡೆಂಟ್ ಬಗ್ಗೆ ಹೇಳುವಾಗ ಯಾವುದೇ ರೀತಿ ಎಮೋಷನ್ಸ್ ಇರೋದಿಲ್ಲ. ಸೊ ಆ ಇಮೋಷನ್ ಫ್ಯಾಕ್ಟರ್ ಏನಿದೆ ಯಾವುದೇ ಒಂದು ಇನ್ಸಿಡೆಂಟ್ ಇಂದ, ಅದನ್ನ ತೆಗೆದು ನಿಮ್ಮ ಮನಸ್ಸನ್ನ ಹಗರ ಮಾಡೋದಕ್ಕೆ ಹಿಪ್ನೋಥೆರಪಿ ಸಾಕಷ್ಟು ಸಹಾಯ ಮಾಡುತ್ತೆ. Yes, Swetha. Can you heal any of the physical ailments through your hypnotherapy?
Yes, amazing that you ask. So many times we have some physical problem to which we know we don't have any physical reasons to it, right? No medical reason for it. So such pain, okay, they have to be directed through hypnosis. So I'll give you an example for this. Since childhood, I used to have a stopping pain in my back, okay, very bad pain. So and it would just erupt anytime if I'm having my meal or if I'm in the classroom or if I'm in my gym, anywhere. And when the pain would erupt, I would have to lie down. I will have to lie down for some time. The pain would be unbearable. Okay, at that time I didn't know what it was.
Do you have any regular pattern for such kind of pain?
It would just erupt anytime. So I don't know what the trigger point was. And now I'm using these words, trigger point and this one. I didn't know at that time whether
it sound.
Yeah, I didn't know at that time whether there was any trigger or anything. It just used to erupt, and the pain would be so bad. So as time passed and I came into hypnosis and I underwent not many sessions to learn hypnosis, I saw that in one of my past life I was being stabbed with a knife at the same place that I used to get the pain at. Okay, so I don't know. At that time, I thought, okay, it is just an imagination. It cannot be true because even we are human mind. We cannot actually believe anything like that. But then I saw with time that the pain disappeared at all. It's been more than 15 years now that I've not experienced that pain at all.
But how long have you suffered with the pain?
From childhood to 35 years.
Oh my god. Okay.
25 years, I'm 40. So yeah, childhood to 25 years.
Okay. So, ದೇಹದ ಯಾವುದೋ ಭಾಗದಲ್ಲಿ ನೋವು ಬರ್ತಾ ಇದೆ ಅಂತಾನೋ ಅಥವಾ ಏನೋ ಒಂದು ಅನ್ಈಸಿ ಫೀಲ್ ಆಗ್ತಾ ಇದೆ ಅಂತಾನೋ ಅದಕ್ಕೆ ರೀಸನ್ ಗೊತ್ತಿರಲ್ಲ. ಎಷ್ಟೋ ಸತಿ ಡಾಕ್ಟರ್ ಇಂದ ಇನ್ನೊಂದು ಡಾಕ್ಟರ್ಗೆ ಹೋಗಿರ್ತೀವಿ, ಮೆಡಿಕಲಿ ನಿಮ್ ರಿಪೋರ್ಟ್ಸ್ ನಾರ್ಮಲ್ ಆಗಿರುತ್ತೆ, ಆದ್ರೂ ನಮ್ಗೆ ಅದಕ್ಕೆ ಸೊಲ್ಯೂಷನ್ ಸಿಗ್ತಾ ಇಲ್ಲ ಅಂದಾಗ hypnotherapy is a solution. So Swetha, if somebody is already on medication, if somebody is already consulted or under consultation by a psychiatrist and is on medication, can you be of any help to them?
Yes. So generally we work in collaboration with psychiatrists, hypnotherapists, psychotherapists. We generally work with psychotherapists, psychiatrists. Sorry. So if there are patients who are on medication going to psychiatrists, I believe they are already put under therapy with some psychotherapist or hypnotherapist.
Okay.
So if they are not, yes, definitely they can come to me. They don't have to come via any psychiatrist. They can come to me, and we do have patients who are on medication and put into hypnosis. But then there's a slight difference. They need to be off meds, for several hours, because we don't want the medication to be meddling in between our sessions.
So you will advise the patients to stop medication for that day's session.
For that day, for a few hours, not to take the previous night if it is a morning session, like that.
Okay. So, is there any example that the patient have stopped taking medications after a session?
Yeah. Actually, I had a patient who was a 70-year-old lady and she was in depression for 10 years.
Okay.
So I won't call it a clinical depression, but then she was into depression as in she was scared of dying. Just like that. Or she was scared that I would die. People would think, doctors would say I'm dead, but inside I'm not dead actually.
Okay.
And that used to be her fear. And she used to go into depression because of that. Okay, what if I'm not dead and people declare me dead? So she came to me for session, and it's a very one of the most successful cases that in the third session itself, she was like, I'm not taking any medications.
Okay.
From 10 years I was taking medications, and she was such a sweet lady. Like, she paid me for one session in advance, that whenever I need you, you have to come and talk to me because I can't believe that I'm off medication, and that advance is still with me. It's not being encashed.
So how long has this incident been?
6-7 years.
Oh my goodness.
Yeah.
So actually ಇದು ತುಂಬಾ ಇಂಟ್ರೆಸ್ಟಿಂಗ್ ಪಾಯಿಂಟ್ ಅಂತ ನನಗೆ ಅನ್ನಿಸ್ತಾ ಇರೋದು. ಸೊ ಸೈಕಾಲಜಿ ಸೈಕ್ಯಾಟ್ರಿ ಪೇಷಂಟ್ಸ್ ಇದ್ರು ಕೂಡ ನೀವು ಡಿಪ್ರೆಷನ್ ಆಗಲಿ ಅಥವಾ ಬೇರೆ ಯಾವುದೇ ಕಂಡೀಷನ್ ಆಗಲಿ ಮೆಡಿಸಿನ್ ತಗೋತಾ ಇದ್ರು ಕೂಡ ನೀವು ಹಿಪ್ನೋಥೆರಪಿನ ತಗೋಬಹುದು. ಸೊ ಟು ದ ಮ್ಯಾಕ್ಸ್ ನಿಮಗೆ ಒಂದು ದಿನದ ಮೆಡಿಕೇಶನ್ಸ್ ನ ಸ್ಟಾಪ್ ಮಾಡಕ್ ಹೇಳ್ತಾರಂತ. ಅಂದ್ರೆ ಈಗ ಬೆಳಗ್ಗೆ ಸೆಷನ್ ಇತ್ತು ಅಂದ್ರೆ ಹಿಂದಿನ ದಿನದ ರಾತ್ರಿ ಒಂದು ಡೋಸ್, ಬಿಕಾಸ್ ಆ ಮೆಡಿಸಿನ್ಸ್ ನಿಂದಾಗಿ ನಿಮ್ಮ ಹಿಪ್ನೋಥೆರಪಿಗೆ ಯಾವುದೇ ಚೇಂಜಸ್ ಆಗದೆ ಇರಲಿ ಅನ್ನೋ ಕಾರಣಕ್ಕೆ. ಸೊ ಅವ್ರು ಕೊಡ್ತಾ ಇರೋ ಎಕ್ಸಾಂಪಲ್ಸ್ ಪ್ರಕಾರ ವರ್ಷಾನ್ಗಟ್ಲೆಯಿಂದ ನೀವು ಮೆಡಿಸಿನ್ ಮೇಲೆ ಇದ್ರೂ ಕೂಡ ಸೆಷನ್ಸ್ ಆದ್ಮೇಲೆ ನೀವು ಖಂಡಿತವಾಗ್ಲೂ ಮೆಡಿಸಿನ್ಸ್ ನ ಅದು ಪೇಷಂಟ್ ಎಷ್ಟು ಕೋಆಪರೇಟ್ ಮಾಡ್ತಾರೆ.
That's what I wanted to add this point, that in this case 80 to 90% was the patient's work. My work, because she was so desperate to come out of the depression, that just to, otherwise it's not so easy. I'm telling you, this was like one of the star cases for me. it is not so easy to be off medicine so easily. But then she was desperate to leave the medicine.
So if patient is willing, ಖಂಡಿತವಾಗ್ಲೂ ನೀವು ಮೆಡಿಕೇಶನ್ಸ್ ಕೂಡ ಸ್ಟಾಪ್ ಮಾಡಬಹುದು. And Swetha, if somebody is addicted, can hypnotherapy help?
So we need to understand the basis of addiction. Okay, mostly addiction happens because of a void in a person's life. Okay, they are filling some kind of gap in their life with that addiction. Okay, so it could start initially because of the peer pressure, because of the societal pressure, anything. Okay, but then slowly, because of some reason, because of some void, as I said, they get addicted to it. So definitely we do have de-addiction methods also, therapies too, and we work on both ways, on physical level also to de-addict them, and on the psychological level also, emotional level. Why did you get addicted? What is that void? So we work on the void and on the physiology.
So ಯಾರಾದ್ರೂ ಅಡಿಕ್ಷನ್ಸ್ ಇದೆ, ನಮ್ಗೆ ಅದರಿಂದ ಹೊರಗೆ ಬರಬೇಕು ಅನ್ನೋ ಮನಸ್ಸು ನಿಮಗಿದ್ರೆ, ನಾಟ್ ದ ಫ್ಯಾಮಿಲಿ, ಬಿಕಾಸ್ ಬೇರೆ ಯಾರೋ ನಿಮ್ಮನ್ನ ಕರ್ಕೊಂಡು ಬಂದು ಸೆಷನ್ ಕೊಡ್ಸಿದ್ರೆ ನಿಮ್ಗೆ ಅದು ಹೆಲ್ಪ್ ಆಗ್ಲಿಕ್ಕೆ ಆಗಲ್ಲ. ಬಟ್ ನಿಮ್ಗೆ ಪರ್ಸನಲಿ ನಾನು ತುಂಬಾ ಕಷ್ಟ ಪಡ್ತಾ ಇದೀನಿ, ನನ್ಗೆ ಅಡಿಕ್ಷನ್ ಇಂದ ಹೊರಗೆ ಬರಕ್ ಸಾಧ್ಯ ಆಗ್ತಾ ಇಲ್ಲ ಅಂದ್ರೆ, ಹಿಯರ್ ಇಸ್ ಅ ಗೋ. ಸೊ Swetha, the session is very interesting because for me also it is a very new exposure. So how do you keep yourself updated? Are there any new technologies coming up in hypnotherapy, like the continuous education which happens in the other fields? Do you keep yourself updated?
Of course, hypnosis is, again, it's an ocean, right? It's you cannot be ever updated, or you cannot ever be okay, I am graduated in hypnosis now. No, you have to keep practicing. You have to keep updating yourself. There are so many courses that keeps coming. So after hypnosis, there's something called tasso in Eka. Okay. So you do the tasso, and then there are so many things. So hypnosis, again, I try to work from a holistic point of view, right? So along with hypnosis, there is also something called radical healing, pranic healing, Reiki, right? So you keep updating yourself, you keep amalgamating everything into your hypnosis, and you try helping people.
So there are a lot of things. Hypnotherapy ಅಲ್ಲಿಗೆ ಎಂಡ್ ಆಗಲ್ಲ. ಯು ಆರ್ ಗ್ರಾಜುಯೇಟಿಂಗ್ ಔಟ್, ಅದ್ರ ಮೇಲೆ ಕೂಡ ಅವ್ರಿಗೂ ಕಲ್ತ್ಕೊಳ್ಳೋಕೆ ಸಾಕಷ್ಟು ವಿಚಾರಗಳಿದೆ ಅಂತ ಹೇಳ್ತಾ ಇದ್ದಾರೆ ಶ್ವೇತಾ. ಸೊ ಶ್ವೇತಾ, ವಾಟ್ ಆರ್ ಆಲ್ ದಿ ಏರಿಯಾಸ್ hypnotherapy can help us?
Okay, so hypnosis is not only limited to age regression. Okay, people think, oh, hypnosis means, oh, we'll go into our childhood. Okay, but then it's a vast area. So along with age regression, we can directly go into womb correction. So all the problems that start from the womb level. I've had one of the I won't call it patients, but someone I was talking to, and they saw themselves in their mother's womb while the mother was in the grandmother's womb. So hypnosis goes back 3 generations.
Okay.
For the single person, she saw herself in the mother's womb while the mother was herself in the grandmother's womb. The mother wasn't born.
Right.
She was in the grand.
Okay.
So
and the issue was corrected.
So she just saw it for the sake of seeing. She just wanted to go back, and she just saw it. So there was no correction needed as such. There was no correction needed. She just wanted to see, okay, where is this coming from? The issue, diabetes. Okay.
Okay.
Where is it coming from? So
it went on to
the third generation. Yeah.
Okay.
And it could be done for stage fear, for confidence building, for phobia correction, for fear, for past life regression. Definitely, people go into past life.
Right. The terminology is used synonymously. Hypnotherapy is
past life regression. Yes, but then hypnosis is not only सीमित नहीं है to past life regression. There are so many things. There is there's something called inner circle for fear, removal of fear, removal of phobias. I myself, I am super duper phobic of lizard. So there was a time I couldn't even take name of the lizard.
Okay.
And God forbid, if I've seen a lizard, my BP would shoot up. I'll start sweating from my palm. Okay. And once I had to be hospitalized because I saw a lizard. But then today, because of the therapy, I can take the name, I can imagine a lizard going, but then I still don't want to confront a lizard. That is a different thing. But yeah.
Swetha, am I a weak-minded person if you can hypnotize me?
Oh no.
Because it's also a...
Okay. Not at all, not at all. I don't know what you mean by weak-minded, because there are people who are very confident or low on confidence. There are people who have a very high self-esteem or low self-esteem. But mind, there's nothing called a weak mind. Okay? All the mind, it depends on you, how you use your mind. Okay? If you are confident, that means you're called a strong-minded person, right? So it's an attribution. It's not the mind. It's an attribution. So no, nothing like a weak-minded person can be hypnotized easily, or a strong-minded cannot be. It depends on the personality. A physical person can be a physical person in the sense type of physical person can be put into hypnosis very easily, and an emotional person, that means the kind of suggestibility they have, they will have to take a different route.
And you have a different approach for...
Yes, you definitely. No two people are same, right? So these two personality are not same. So we do have different modalities, but weak mind, strong mind, nothing like that.
If I'm on a hypnosis session, can I hear what is happening, in my atmosphere and in my surrounding, or can I still understand the presence of somebody in the place? So, does it happen, or?
So yes, actually, it is one of the deepening techniques. So while I'm inducing hypnosis, while I'm using the deepening technique, I would say that any sound that you hear in the background will help you to focus on my voice. So actually, I tune them into thinking that whenever I'm seeing any other sound or hearing any other sound, that would actually help me to focus on my therapist's sound more, on her voice more. So they can hear it, but then the mind, they are tuned into my voice.
So if in case, I'm ready to take a hypnosis, and I'm getting deep into the hypnosis, and probably I'm very conscious that I don't want to reveal certain things to you.
Yes.
For various reasons.
Yes.
Can I stop answering your questions?
So yes, there are generally what happens when we sign this confidentiality clause. The patient build up a kind of relationship with the therapist. The trust is already built. So most of the time, most of the things are being revealed. Okay, but yes, there are chances wherein they don't want to reveal what they're seeing. Okay, but as far as they're seeing something, they're getting healed, they're getting the answers. It's good for me. That it's well enough for me.
But as a therapist, can you force them to reveal or force them to do any kind of activity that they are not willing to?
No,
you cannot. People fear that.
People fear that if I'm put under hypnosis and if I give them the wrong suggestion, they'll get up and do that. But this cannot happen. Okay?
So, can you induce any good memory after a session of hypnotherapy?
Okay, so you cannot induce any memory, but we replace it with something good. Okay, so when the healing takes place, okay, the unpleasant memory, the emotion attached to the unpleasant memory is taken away. So definitely there's a void there, right?
Okay.
Obviously, we are taking away the emotion, so there is a void. Now
even at the emotional level, there is a void.
Of course, right? So when we lose a loved one, okay, isn't there a void, right? Of the emotion also, that you
not
miss
just
that
physical
feeling.
Presence of that person.
Not only the physical presence, you miss that feeling that you used to have for that person, right? So the void is there. The emotional void is also there. So we fill that void with something.
Because you mentioned about it, Swetha, this was not actually thought of. There are incidents when women tend to remain very strong, saying that, even after losing a very dear one, probably a husband or so, and they tell that, I don't feel any void, I still feel their presence around me. Can they do it, or is it true, or is it just that they...
So, we need to handle these things very maturely when, a woman who's lost her husband comes and tells her that, I don't miss the void, okay? But when you see it in their action, we generally realize how much they're missing. Okay, for example, a widow, a person, I'm sorry to use that word, but yeah, a lady who's lost her husband at a very young age, okay, you will all of a sudden see her a cleaning spree in her. She'll be cleaning the house regularly, spick and span, spick and span.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, what is the psychological reason behind it? Definitely the age is so that the sexual urges are there. But now she's a widow. She shouldn't have those sexual urges, right? So she feels very unclean. And this happens on a very, very subconscious level, very unconscious level.
Okay.
She feels very unclean. Why am I having those thoughts? Why am I having these needs? The urges.
Okay.
Yeah? And these are libidos, right? It's very human to feel these things, right? So she's feeling that. It's very dirty.
Mm-hmm.
So what is the outcome of that? Cleaning. So you will see her on a cleaning spree always. Right?
So I think a lot of people would not even know the reason behind what they are doing.
Absolutely.
Very nice to know a lot of things from you, Swetha. I think my question never ends because the session very vast. And I'm sure we will have a lot of upcoming session, and I promise the audience, ನಮ್ಮ ಮುಂದಿನ ಸೆಷನ್ ಅಲ್ಲಿ ನಮ್ಗೊಂದು ಲೈವ್ ಹಿಪ್ನೋಥೆರಪಿ ಸೆಷನ್ ನಾವು ಕವರ್ ಮಾಡೋದಕ್ಕೆ ಟ್ರೈ ಮಾಡ್ತಾ ಇದೀವಿ. ಲೆಟ್ಸ್ ಸಿ ಹೌ ಇಟ್ ವರ್ಕ್ಸ್ ಅಬೌಟ್. ಸೊ ಶ್ವೇತನ್ನ ಕ್ವೆಶ್ಚನ್ ಮಾಡಬೇಕು ಅಂತ ಅನ್ಕೊಳ್ಳೋರು ಅಥವಾ ಹಿಪ್ನೋಥೆರಪಿ ನಿಜವಾಗ್ಲೂ ವರ್ಕ್ ಮಾಡುತ್ತಾ ಅಂತ ಕ್ವೆಶನ್ಸ್ ಕೇಳೋರಿದ್ರೆ ವೇಟ್ ಅಂಡ್ ವಾಚ್. ನಾವು ಅದೊಂದು ಸೆಷನ್ ತಗೊಂಡ್ ಬರ್ತೀವಿ ನಾವು ಲೈವ್ ಹಿಪ್ನೋಥೆರಪಿ ಹೇಗೆ ಆಗುತ್ತೆ ಅಂತ. So Swetha, with all these things, I seriously don't want to end the conversation. I don't know how the audience are feeling, but personally speaking, I'm here to know a lot of things. So let us continue to talk. Let us continue to explore more with this. So thank you so much for being on my show.
Thank you so much for having me here. Thank you so much. It's been exhilarating to talk about so many things.
Yeah, I wish we will continue to talk because I don't want to end such conversations. But next session ಅಲ್ಲಿ ನಾನು ಖಂಡಿತ ಪ್ರಾಮಿಸ್ ಮಾಡ್ತೀನಿ, ನಾವೊಂದು ಪ್ರಾಕ್ಟಿಕಲ್ ಹಿಪ್ನೋಥೆರಪಿ ಸೆಷನ್ ತಗೊಂಡ್ ಬರ್ತೀವಿ ಅಂತ. ಸೊ ಇದಾಗಿತ್ತು ಇವತ್ತಿನ ಇನ್ಫೋ ಎಟ್ ಹೊನ್ನೋಡಿ. ಅಟ್ ದಿ ಎಂಡ್ ಆಫ್ ದ ಡೇ ನಮ್ಮ ಟೇಕ್ ಹೋಮ್ ಮೆಸೇಜ್ ಏನಪ್ಪಾ ಅಂದ್ರೆ, ನಾವ್ ಯಾವ್ದನ್ನೇ ಕಾನ್ಸಂಟ್ರೇಟ್ ಮಾಡಿದ್ರು ನಮಗೆ 3 ವಿಚಾರಗಳ ಬಗ್ಗೆ ಯಾವಾಗ್ಲೂ ಕಾನ್ಶಿಯಸ್ನೆಸ್ ಇರಬೇಕು. ಒಂದು ನಿಮ್ಮ ಮನಸ್ಸು, ದಟ್ ಈಸ್ ಯೋರ್ ಮೈಂಡ್, ಯೋರ್ ಥಾಟ್ಸ್ ಅಂಡ್ ಯೋರ್ ಆಕ್ಟಿವಿಟೀಸ್. ಸೊ ಇಷ್ಟನ್ನ ನೀವು ನಿಮ್ಮ ಕಂಟ್ರೋಲ್ ಅಲ್ಲಿ ಇಟ್ಕೊಳಕ್ ಸಾಧ್ಯ ಆಯ್ತು ಅಂದ್ರೆ ಅದಕ್ಕಿಂತ ಬೇರೆ ಥೆರಪಿ ಬೇಡ ಅಂತ ಹೇಳ್ತಾ ಇವತ್ತಿನ ಇನ್ಫೋ ಎಟ್ ಹೊನ್ನೋಡಿಯ ಸಂಚಿಕೆಯನ್ನ ಮುಗಿಸ್ತಾ ಇದೀವಿ. ಇವತ್ತಿನ ಸಂಚಿಕೆ ನಿಮ್ಗೆ ಏನಾದ್ರು ಮಾಹಿತಿನ ತಂದ್ಕೊಡ್ತು ಅಂದ್ರೆ ಅಲ್ಲಿಗೆ ನಮ್ ಕೆಲಸ ಮುಗ್ದ ಹಾಗೆ.